Hello, hello. Today I am at 37 weeks as a first time mom to our baby boy, and my body is definitely preparing for labor. So let's talk about it while I get ready and have my coffee. So, with this being my first time being pregnant and obviously not knowing what to expect really, and obviously being so close to, because I think I'm pretty sure I'm full term already. Um, I wasn't necessarily expecting myself to be one of those women who was like guessing everything was a labor, like going into a labor symptom, but I'm turning into one of those women and I get it now. So, for probably the last probably 2 solid weeks, I have been getting that period like cramping that so many women talk about. And for some, it actually ends up turning into their labor. But I didn't realize that it was also just something that happens when your body is preparing, which makes sense. Luckily, I am part of a few pregnancy Facebook groups with like the other ladies who are due on the same month, which is June. Um, and I have gotten so much clarification, and just like hearing other people's experiences has been super helpful for me personally. I have been really into just connecting with other women who um, are going through the same stage of pregnancy as me. And it's also helpful because not all of them are first time moms. They just happen to be due at the same time as me. So there's a lot of really good advice. Even just like hearing other people's experiences, you have to obviously use your own discernment and judgment with some of the things that you see on there. But for the most part, I have found it to be super helpful, especially because not everybody wants to talk about pregnancy, or I just don't want to bother, people with all of my random pregnancy questions. So for me, it's been a really helpful resource to use. And if you're pregnant now, then I would just recommend that you go onto Facebook and then just type in like babies due like November 2022 or whatever month that you are due in. And actually, there are so many ladies in my life that are pregnant now. They're announcing their pregnancies, and I'm like, is this how it always is? But I just never noticed, or I don't know. But it seems like there's a lot of pregnancy announcements that I have been seeing, which is cool. And even though I am obviously still pregnant, I feel like I'm already getting FOMO from like just experiencing my first pregnancy, if that makes sense. I'm just like, I remember the time of us first announcing and how exciting it was, and you had like your entire pregnancy in front of you, and now I'm at the very end and seeing people at the very beginning, and I'm just like, such a precious time. But yeah, back to the symptoms that I've been having. So yeah, I've been having that like period like cramping pretty much every day. For the most part, I always wake up with that cramping sensation now, like in the mornings, and then I'll feel it again like just throughout the day. I get it at night, and it doesn't last the way that contractions would, so I know that they're not contractions because it's like they'll last like 5 to 10 minutes at a time, versus like how contractions are where you might feel it for like 30 seconds, a minute, and then they're consistent, which when I brought it up to my midwife at my last appointment, she said those were Braxton Hicks, but I did not expect Braxton Hicks to feel that way. So, I don't know. I always thought that Braxton Hicks was more of like that tightening feeling, and now I feel like every time I go into the bathroom now, I'm always checking to see if I've lost my mucus plug or if there's like anything different going on, and nothing so far. I do think that baby dropped because I have noticed that I am getting a lot more of the sensation that baby is messing with my bladder. Like sometimes I'll just feel like the urge to pee for like 2 seconds and then it'll go away. It just feels like it's being like pressed up against, and it's probably his head, which luckily the midwife confirmed that he is head down. She said that he was in an optimal position for everything to go right with a vaginal delivery, so that's really exciting. She said that there's nothing that I really need to do, because I asked if I need to work on getting him more engaged, but she said no, even though I still probably am. So I've been trying to work on leaning forward a little bit more, and using my birth ball. Shout out to Cass for letting me use hers. And I just really don't want to have any last minute scares of him just going back to like a breech position, because that would not be good. So yeah, the movements that I have been feeling have definitely shifted. They're pretty consistent now, where you can see him move from like one side of my belly to another. Like you just literally see my stomach bulge out on one side, and then you'll see a bulge to the other side, and then I can feel his little feet, his limbs on my right hand side. It is so cute. Just thinking about like that connection that I have with just feeling his little feet, I'm just like, that is so cute. It's gonna be so crazy when I'm like actually touching his real feet and then realizing like that's what I felt inside my belly. I am watching so many labor and delivery vlogs right now. I started showing Ricky some, so then he can kind of have an idea of what to expect. I definitely also started feeling lightning crotch, which wasn't really a thing for me until now, so I'm kind of convinced that baby has dropped, which is a good thing, I think. Physically, I can't tell if I see a physical change, but I'll probably have to do like some before and afters of what my belly looked like just a few weeks ago and then now, and then see if I can notice that difference. But it's definitely getting real now. It's like hospital bag should definitely be packed. I do have my birth plan pretty much done, but I need to print it out, so I need to focus on doing that like ASAP before I continue to neglect it and then have it be time and then not have it be ready, even though I started it quite some time ago. I really just need to do some last minute nesting for just things that he'll need as soon as he is born. So I know one of the things that I'm planning to do is exclusively breastfeed, but then also thinking about how I want to use the haka to catch the letdown, and I need to be able to store like the breast milk. So I need to get some of those storage bags and then probably some bottles in case I end up deciding to have Ricky help me with some of the feedings. And I had mentioned in another video how I started being able to express colostrum, which is true. After I shower, I am able to get colostrum out. The only thing that I started realizing was, so the way that I tried it was literally just hand expressing, like stimulating my nipple, and then I'm able to see stuff come out, but then after that like initial little bit that comes out, nothing else does. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to collect any, because I was thinking of ordering some containers on Amazon, but I don't think it's gonna be a thing for me, which I was disappointed about, because I got excited and I was like, oh, I'll be able to collect some because it's so precious. It's like golden milk, or liquid gold is what they call it. But then I read how like some women who ended up being like overproducers didn't even have colostrum before. So I'm trying not to worry about it, while also just acknowledging that things might not go exactly as planned. So obviously with the formula shortage that's happening, because I am planning to breastfeed, it's not like super, super top of mind, but I do know that I need to also be prepared and not be negligent by just assuming that everything is going to go perfect. So I gotta find maybe some options in case I do need to go there, then I have something to supplement with if I'm not producing enough. But in Jesus' name, I will be producing the exact amount that my baby needs. And also, since we are so close to the time when I mean, at this point, I can go into labor at any time. Because of COVID protocol, Ricky cannot be in the hospital if he gets tested positive for COVID. Luckily, because I ended up having COVID in the last 90 days, they don't need to test me because it's going to come back positive anyway. So I don't have to worry about that, but Ricky does. So we are trying to really focus on just avoiding crowds at this point. Just to be on the safe side, I don't want to have to be in labor by myself. Obviously, I want to have Ricky there. So it's just hard because it's like I'm 37 weeks. If I end up going over my due date, then how long will we have to be in isolation for? You know, like just not being around like all of our family at the same time and not being indoors and all of that stuff. So, yeah, that's a whole other COVID related thing that we have to deal with at this time. But as of today, we are gonna go celebrate my niece's kindergarten graduation. So we are gonna be meeting up with our family, and this might be the last time that we all get together, or that we get together with all of them. Yeah, until we have to hunker down. Anyway, that was a really quick just pregnancy update on all of these last minute changes that are going on in my body as it prepares for labor. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you are pregnant, let me know what stage you're at. Have you just found out that you're pregnant, or are you closer to actually the delivery of meeting your baby just like I am? I would love to know and connect with you. You can also follow me on Instagram at mrsdaisyringgold. It'll be in the description box, and I will see you next time. Bye.